It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. In fact, it's a clear sign that everything you once knew, every stale belief, every burden you've carried, has begun to dissolve. You are stepping away from a reality that no longer defines you. The challenges that once felt so insurmountable are revealing themselves as catalysts for greater freedom. This moment is like an awakening, gently urging you to embrace a fresh start that has been calling your name for much longer than you may realize. As a chosen one, you've always carried the capacity to transform darkness into light, disappointment into wisdom, and uncertainty into faith. Now you're finally free to let go of the past and welcome the miracles and blessings forming in your life. If this resonates in your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to signal your readiness for what comes next. Chapter 1. The Unraveling of a Former Life Picture. A time when you had more questions than answers. Maybe you felt stuck in a loop of repetitive problems, financial strain, relationship drama, emotional roller coasters you couldn't get off. That was your old reality, one built around patterns that often brought the same disappointments to your doorstep. Yet something within you always whispered that you could handle more, that you were meant for a deeper experience of life. If you look back now, you notice how every challenge, every loss, even every moment of heartbreak was quietly pulling threads out of that outdated tapestry. One day it finally began to unravel. Sometimes the unraveling feels abrupt. Perhaps you woke up feeling differently about a situation that used to define you. Maybe a source of conflict simply vanished from your life. Or you recognize deep in your bones that the people who once drained your energy no longer have the same power over you. In these instances, you may feel relief, but you might also feel a strange emptiness. After all, the collapse of the old can leave a vacuum before something new emerges. This pause can be unsettling, yet it's a vital part of the process that every chosen one goes through. It's the moment when you realize you can no longer operate the way you did before. You might catch yourself looking at your surroundings, your home, your social circles, or even your daily routine, and seeing them in a new light. It's as though a layer of dust has been wiped clean. You see people's true intentions more clearly. You recognize who reciprocates your kindness and who only takes. Old disappointments, once so consuming, begin to lose their grip. All those late nights spent worrying, or those days spent navigating conflict after conflict, start to feel like another lifetime. Indeed, the reality that once held you hostage has crumbled. This crumbling, while unsettling, is actually a form of liberation. Think of it as the foundation you once built. But that foundation was never meant to last forever. It served its purpose, teaching you crucial lessons. You learned what it means to be used, lied to, or taken for granted. And you also discovered your own powerful capacity to forgive and move forward. Now the walls of that old life have come tumbling down, leaving you standing in the sunlight of new opportunity. It's a bit like finally removing a tight, constrictive garment you never realized was suffocating you. And now, without those old boundaries, you can breathe freely. To be a chosen one during this time means you're not just passively watching your life change, you are actively participating in its transformation. You see that old patterns are gone, and you're making choices that would have terrified the old version of you. Instead of clinging to the past, you let it crumble with gratitude. Instead of fearing what's next, you remain open. The unraveling is not the end of your story. It's the prelude to a chapter of boundless miracles and blessings about to flow your way. Chapter 2. Liberation to Release. When your old reality collapses, you might find yourself carrying lingering emotions, remorse over wasted time, sadness for past betrayals, or even anger at your own mistakes. Yet the freedom now available to you is directly tied to your willingness to let those burdens go. While it can be tempting to replay old scenarios in your mind, each replay weaves threads back into the tapestry you've already unraveled. Letting go becomes the only act that truly sets you free. This is where your role as a chosen one takes center stage. You have the innate power to transmute heaviness into growth, pain into clarity, and regret into compassion. You might sense this liberation most strongly in your relationships. Old connections that thrived on codependency or drama now feel incompatible with your new state of being. The tension or one-sidedness you once tolerated becomes glaringly obvious. It's as if your eyes have been opened to a dynamic that no longer resonates. People who once manipulated or drained you suddenly stand out like never before. While it may be painful to confront such realities, it's also a profound step toward genuine self-care. The more you honor your own well-being, the more space you open up for relationships grounded in mutual respect and authentic love. At the same time, releasing attachments to past hurts doesn't mean pretending they never happened. It involves acknowledging them fully and then choosing not to let them define you. If you've been burned by betrayal, you carry that lesson without letting it close your heart. If you've made mistakes, you integrate those experiences into a more compassionate understanding of yourself rather than crucifying yourself over them. This balancing act is what paves the way to genuine liberation. You hold the wisdom without dragging the shame along for the ride. There's also a unique tenderness in this phase. You may feel raw, as if the protective shell you once wore has cracked open. It can be tempting to put up bigger walls, to vow never to trust again. But staying open, even in your vulnerability, is exactly what allows for miracles and blessings to find you. This openness tells life, I'm ready for something better. Think of it like clearing out a cluttered closet. Unless you make room, you can't bring new items in. The emptiness might feel strange at first, but it's precisely what's needed to usher in the gifts waiting in the wings. Often in this tender space of release, small wonders begin to appear. It might be an unexpected call from an old friend who offers a timely piece of advice or a surprising spark of inspiration that sets you on a new path. These nudges are confirmations that you're aligning with a lighter, freer way of living. The emotional weight you carried is diminishing. Your spirit feels less congested, and in that newfound spaciousness, blessings can finally take root. Liberation isn't about forcing yourself to be happy. It's about gently letting go of what has already served its purpose and trusting in what lies ahead. Chapter 3. Recognizing your spiritual strength. In the middle of transitioning from your old reality, a revelation dawns. You are spiritually stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. That strength might have been overshadowed by doubt or worry, but once the familiar walls of your previous life fell away, your resilience was laid bare for all to see. You find yourself handling stress more gracefully or intuitively, sensing what needs your attention and what doesn't. You see through deception more easily, spotting the truth behind people's words and actions. This heightened awareness isn't a coincidence. It's a natural consequence of shedding what no longer serves you. As you reflect on your journey, you may realize how many times you've navigated challenges that would break someone else's spirit. You weathered storms of heartbreak, disappointment, or financial uncertainty, and each test taught you an invaluable lesson. It's as though your spirit was lifting weights all along, building invisible muscle that you can now flex with ease. This is a hallmark of the chosen one, to take adversity and refine it into wisdom, which in turn empowers you to transcend even greater obstacles in the future. Yet spiritual strength isn't about being impervious to pain. It's about understanding that pain doesn't define you. Your tears, your heartaches, your moments of insecurity all exist within the broader tapestry of who you are. But they don't eclipse your capacity for love and hope. This realization often leads to an even deeper compassion for others. Having walked through your own crucibles, you recognize the flicker of suffering in others' eyes. And because you've made it through, you know you can shine a light of encouragement on their path too. This phase might also usher in a sense of purpose you haven't felt before. As your old reality crumbles, new callings can rise from the rubble. Perhaps you feel drawn to practice healing, to counsel others, or to create something that uplifts your community. These impulses arise from a deeper well of self-knowing. You're no longer striving to fit yourself into roles that never suited you. Instead, you stand free to choose a direction that honors your authenticity and aligns with your spiritual strengths. Opportunities to share your gifts seem to surface from unexpected corners, confirming that you're on the right track. In recognizing your spiritual fortitude, you also learn to honor your boundaries. A renewed sense of self-worth takes root, guiding you to say no when needed, to rest when you must, and to walk away from dynamics that suppress your growth. This is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it's a sacred responsibility to protect the vessel of your spirit so you can continue fulfilling whatever mission lies ahead. Each time you enforce a boundary, you reinforce your own value. And with each reinforcement, the external world responds by respecting you at a higher level. In short, your spiritual strength radiates outward, transforming the environment around you and confirming that your liberation is real. Chapter 4. Embracing the Unknown. Stepping into the unknown can feel like being on the verge of a grand adventure. After your old reality collapses, you might stand in a space that's both exhilarating and terrifying. You sense infinite potential, but also face the discomfort of having no roadmap. If you've been relying on predictable routines or familiar people to keep you anchored, it can be disorienting to realize those anchor points no longer apply. Yet the unknown offers a blank slate for miracles and blessings to write themselves into your story. This chapter in a chosen one's life is often marked by a surge in intuitive nudges. You may find yourself suddenly inspired to take a course, move to a new location, or connect with a community that resonates with your emerging interests. At first, these urges can seem random or even illogical, but the more you trust them, the clearer it becomes that something larger is guiding you. You realize you're not stumbling in the dark. You're being led by an inner compass that's more reliable than any external blueprint. Embracing the unknown also means coming face to face with old fears. You might catch the voice in your head saying things like, what if I fail? Or, this is too risky. These doubts aren't new. They're just more visible because you're no longer drowning them out with the distractions of your old life. The difference now is that you have the courage to witness these fears without letting them dictate your course. Whenever they arise, you gently remind yourself that the greatest breakthroughs often come wrapped in uncertainty. Curiously, when you accept that you don't have all the answers, you become a magnet for serendipity. You may meet someone at a cafe who gives you the exact piece of advice you've been missing. A chance encounter could introduce you to a friend of a friend who has the perfect opportunity for your skill set. The more you lean into not knowing, the more space you create for life to surprise you in the most delightful ways. You realize that trying to control every outcome was never your real source of safety. Your real safety lies in trusting your path and your own unfolding. One of the greatest rewards of embracing the unknown is the fresh sense of possibility it brings. Without the old walls confining you, you're free to imagine solutions and scenarios you never would have dared consider. This creative spark can fuel everything from career changes to new hobbies. It breathes life into dormant dreams and unearths strengths you didn't know you had. In that sense, stepping into the unknown is less about stepping out of something and more about stepping into everything. You welcome life's mysteries with open arms, and in return, life meets you with a grace that defies expectation. It's a beautiful dance, and you're learning the steps day by day. Chapter 5. Witnessing True Miracles. Once your old reality collapses and you begin navigating uncharted territory, you become keenly aware of the miracles unfolding around you. These miracles may come in subtle forms at first, like a resolution to a conflict that's haunted you for years, or a sudden burst of clarity about your next move. Sometimes they're more dramatic, a financial breakthrough when you need it most, a powerful reconciliation in a relationship you assume was beyond repair, or an opportunity that seems custom designed for your unique talents. Either way, you recognize these events as more than coincidences. They feel orchestrated, as though the universe is handing you exactly what your heart has been quietly seeking. A hallmark of this phase is your heightened ability to accept these gifts without questioning your worthiness. In your old reality, you might have shrugged off good fortune, doubting you deserved it or fearing it wouldn't last. But after all you've endured, your perspective has matured. You understand that miracles aren't random or false. They're responses to your growing alignment. When you hold a mindset of gratitude and possibility, life responds by filling your arms with blessings that confirm your readiness for a higher way of living. It's also important to note that miracles don't always look like what you expect. Sometimes the greatest miracle is the inner shift you experience, a sense of unwavering peace in the midst of chaos, or the sudden ability to see others through the lens of compassion instead of judgment. External events may be the spark, but the real magic occurs within your consciousness. As you integrate each blessing, you find your heart expanding, your resilience strengthening, and your faith solidifying. This quiet transformation often ripples out, touching the people around you in ways you can't fully measure. Your mindset during this stage becomes critical. If you cling to cynicism or doubt, you risk overlooking the very miracles you've been longing for. It's a bit like staring at the ground and missing the shooting stars overhead. But if you remain open and receptive, you'll start noticing miracles popping up in every corner of your life. Even setbacks take on a different hue. Rather than obstacles, they become invitations for deeper understanding and growth. It might feel like the entire universe is gently guiding you toward paths that elevate you and help you shine. This is why, as a chosen one, you carry a responsibility to nurture your blessings wisely. People may see how your life is changing and flock to your energy. Some will seek to learn from you, while others may attempt to exploit your newfound abundance or serenity. Your job is to remain discerning, sharing your gifts with those who are genuinely open and setting boundaries for those who are not prepared to honor you. By staying true to yourself, you protect the miracles in your life and keep the flow of blessings open. That balanced awareness forms the bridge between you and a future filled with even more wonders yet to be revealed. Chapter 6. Rebuilding from a place of inner wholeness. With the collapse of the old world behind you and signs of miracles showing up daily, the next natural step is to rebuild. But this time, you're not constructing on shaky foundations. You're building from the inside out, guided by a renewed sense of wholeness and purpose. Rather than asking others, "What should I do next?" you find yourself asking your own spirit, "How can I honor my truth?" It's a subtle but crucial shift, one that infuses every choice you make with authenticity. In this new phase, your goals may change. You might let go of pursuits that once felt essential, but no longer resonate with your emerging self. Maybe you've been chasing a certain career path or clinging to friendships out of habit. Now you see these attachments as fragments of the past, not reflective of the person you're becoming. This realization can bring a mix of relief and grief. Letting go of an old dream can be as freeing as letting go of old wounds. Those create space for new possibilities you couldn't have envisioned before, because you're building from a place of inner wholeness. Collaboration and relationships take on a deeper significance. You begin to surround yourself with people who mirror back to you the values you hold dear: truth, kindness, and growth. You gravitate toward environments that support mutual respect rather than power struggles. You may find yourself forging powerful connections with fellow chosen ones who, like you, have walked their own path of transformation. Together, you create a community that thrives on shared insight and collective elevation. It's a stark contrast to the draining relationships you left behind. A key aspect of rebuilding involves nurturing self-trust. Before, you might have sought external validation, waiting for others to confirm your choices. But after witnessing miracles and surviving the collapse of your old reality, you recognize that your inner guidance has been reliable all along. It guided you out of dysfunctional patterns and into the arms of grace. Listening to that intuition now feels not only natural, but essential. Each decision you make from this intuitive space fortifies your new reality, making it resilient to the storms life might still bring. In this stage, progress can happen in leaps. Once you clear the rubble and establish solid ground, new inspirations arrive swiftly. A conversation with a stranger might spur a breakthrough idea. A dream might offer a clue about your next step. You might discover a talent you never realized you had. These sudden surges of momentum are a testament to the power of building a life aligned with your highest truth. It's as if the universe sees your sincerity and rushes to co-create with you, filling your days with fresh energy and unmistakable signs that you're on the right track. The momentum is enforced. It flows because you've become a willing participant in your own unfolding story. Chapter 7. Moving forward into a future of light. As you glance over the landscape of your life now, you might hardly recognize the person you were before. The collapse of your old reality seems like a distant memory. And yet, it played a pivotal role in bringing you to this place of renewed freedom. Each day you wake up, you step further into a future lit by the glow of self-awareness, fueled by unshakable faith. You've reached a point where your past no longer haunts you. It simply informs you. The lessons remain, but the pain has largely transformed into wisdom. In this new chapter, you no longer question whether miracles are possible. You know they are. The blessings you once doubted have become tangible parts of your everyday experience. People sense an undeniable glow around you, noticing how you handle challenges with a grace that seems almost otherworldly. It's not that difficulties no longer occur, it's that you move through them with a lighter step. You trust in your capacity to rise, knowing that each obstacle is another layer of growth waiting to be peeled back. Relationships find a fresh equilibrium. You're gentler with yourself and more compassionate toward others. Yet you maintain boundaries that protect your inner harmony. The love you radiate attracts connections that honor your journey, while those intent on draining your energy fade into the periphery. As a chosen one, your life stands as an example that true freedom comes when you align your inner truth with your outward actions. By doing so, you contribute a newfound sense of harmony, not just to yourself, but to every soul you encounter. With each step into this future of light, you feel the universe guiding you toward experiences that match your higher vibration. The synchronicities multiply, and opportunities arise that validate your path forward. Perhaps you're nudged toward a creative project that feels like it was tailor-made for your gifts, or you find yourself immersed in a spiritual community that nurtures your growing vision. In these moments, you can almost hear life whisper, "Yes, keep going." This story doesn't end with your liberation. In many ways, it's just beginning. Every day offers a new chance to deepen your understanding of what it means to be free and alive. The miracles and blessings you're set to receive aren't mere instances of good luck. They're invitations to rise into even more profound levels of fulfillment. You stand on the threshold of infinite possibilities, gazing into a future that gleams with promise. And so, you keep walking, heart open, spirit elevated, trusting that with each breath, more wonders unfold on the horizon.